Hello everyone, welcome back. I thought today we would go over a little bit of my reading plans coming up, as well as have a mini chat about the conundrum of reading as a writer. So stay tuned if that sounds interesting. Welcome back everyone, I'm Emilee Harris, author of STEAMY Historical Romances, and today I wanted to start off with some reading plans that I have. These plans are inspired by my current overall plan of just working on drafting some manuscripts this year. I don't have any current plans to publish anything this year. I may renege on that if I have something that ends up ready to publish, but basically I wanted to kind of get ahead on some of my desired writing goal manuscripts because I have a massive list of story ideas. But I realized as I was going through that list and some of the stories that I wanted to work on sooner rather than later, that a couple of those manuscripts are not really in my current genre and they're not really something that I'm massively familiar with, namely romantic comedy. I love romantic comedies, but it dawned on me I don't think I've ever read one. I have watched romantic comedies, I have watched shows and movies that are rom-coms or were based on books, rom-com books, but I haven't actually read them. So it came to me that, well, that could be a bit of a problem because I don't therefore know what the usual structure is for these books, meaning, for example, contemporary romances are often written in the first-person point of view. I'm not a fan of that, and historical romances are generally written in third person, and I like third person. Well, what is a rom-com written in? Not too sure. The other thing is, how long are these books? I know regular romances tend to be on the shorter side, about 50,000 words or so. Novellas are really popular, so less than 50,000 words. But there's a rhyme and a reason for this because it's hard to make a longer book when you really only have those 2 points of view, your hero and heroine, and they are the be-all end-all focus of the story. Is it different in a rom-com? Can I add in other points of view, or do I have just one point of view? Or I realized I had a lot of questions about the actual creation structure of this kind of subgenre that I needed to answer before I could get started on those manuscripts. Therefore, I decided to put together a reading list of books which would be similar to what I have in mind for my manuscript, meaning an element of contemporary. They will be set in modern day, however, also an element of historical. So think Austenland, where you have a modern day person, but they are doing something that involves historical. So costuming, a themed retreat, things of that nature. And once I had that in mind, I decided to look for other similar books. And I did get an idea for page length, the length of the books, and now I have to get an idea for all of the other questions, how to answer them by reading. So over the next few weeks, months, I'm not sure how long I'm going to have these on my list, I decided to read the following books. First, Austenland, because that was one of the first things that came to mind. It was a big influence for me a while back, and I thought it would go really well. It's also a novella, which means it should be a quick and easy read. Another novella on my list is... oh no! I don't have it on this list, but I know it's by Tessa Dare, and it's something about a duke. I will look it up and put it in words somewhere on the screen. But that one is also a novella, and I enjoy Tessa Dare, so I thought that would be a good one. Then we get into some more kind of regular length or longer, normal novel length books, and those include The Corset Diaries by Katie McAllister, Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore, and Well Met by Jen DeLuca. So in The Corset Diaries, I believe that one is someone who does kind of a reality show type deal with living as a Victorian era woman. So that sounded fun, and it would be roughly the right time period as well. Well Met has more of a Renaissance festival theme and has to do with two people who have characters that they play for the Renaissance Festival. And because I am a huge Ren Fair fan, I thought that would be fun as well. I believe Bringing Down the Duke is, I want to say Victorian, but it is completely historical, I think, unless I'm remembering that wrong. So there you have it. There's my list of the books that I want to read. So please do let me know if you have read any of these, what you thought of them, and any of your commentary that you think I should know. Secondly, if you have not read any of them and they sound like fun and want to join me, I don't know what the best way to do that is, but I am going to try to make better use of Goodreads this year. I only just got on the Goodreads bandwagon last year and fell off of it pretty quickly because I didn't quite understand how to keep up with it, and I'm not used to doing so much online. So I want to try that again this year, and I will be hopefully putting those books in a timely manner on Goodreads. So you're welcome to join me there as well. All right, and the last thing I wanted to talk about today is an idea or some thoughts I had actually on the concept of reading as a writer. You know, I really enjoy watching some of the booktubers on YouTube and am just amazed at how much they can read. I mean, even at my best, I always considered myself an avid reader. I've been reading as long as I can remember, constantly. But the more I watch booktubers, the more I think I am not really an avid reader. Because I go through slumps where I don't read much or at all, or other times when I read quite a bit all at once. And I know it's been said, and it is true, it is very important for authors to be avid readers, especially in our genre, so we know what's expected in our reader base. But I do want to say that I don't entirely agree with this. And this is because I have realized there is kind of a correlation between the times that I'm reading most and the times that I'm reading less. And I tend to read less when I'm writing. Now you could say, oh, well, that's obvious because you're writing, you're busy. But actually, no. I could read more while I'm writing. And maybe it's just me, but I tend to be very easily influenced by what I'm reading. Either by the sound of it, the voice of that author, or by themes and ideas in the reading. And basically, I don't want to trip myself up while I'm writing and start accidentally veering into someone else's voice or someone else's ideas. Some people may have no problem with this. And some people may think, well, that's a stupid thing to think you're going to do, but it happens. I have noticed this when I spend a good amount of time reading either a certain author or a certain type of book, what I write, whether I mean it to or not, starts to sound like what I'm currently reading. And that is something that I do not want to happen. So therefore, when I am writing, I do my absolute best not to read. especially not in my genre in which I write. If I do read something, it will be a completely different genre, and hopefully I don't take too much of that to color my writing. But that is a definite danger that I have during my reading. So yeah, that was just a random aside that I thought I would throw in because I thought it was interesting. And I am curious to know, for all of you readers and writers out there, does that ever happen to you? Am I weird? Is it just, I don't know. But I'm curious. What are your thoughts on authors reading? Because it is important, it is very important, but I think there are certain dangers there too. So let me know what you think. As always, everyone, thank you for joining me today. I hope you found this video entertaining. If you did, please do remember to like and/or subscribe. And until then, happy reading.